I think that was coffee. I did not get any calories. A little buzz.
Yeah, she was really glad I'm streaming, not her. Right. She wants to pay attention to the thing. Right. Kendall already walked by me. Yeah, there's that lady that was sitting right down there, older lady, silver hair. She was like on the Occupier, the paper. She got me in trouble one time. That time when Pastor Val reamed me out for bat signaling on the St. Francis.
Oh.
That was Kendall's idea.
What was her issue? Church will not be
streamed upon. That's right. You don't stream upon her church. Plus, the whole thing was kind of sensitive in the neighborhood with them letting have Occupy, have space, and all that.
Right. The church and state will not mix. Glad I got in there when I did.
I was like, I'm okay. And he was like, yeah, and I was like,
that's Kendall, the lady in the black t-shirt, black sweatshirt there.
You did? Wow.
It's looking tough at the second If people can take their seats, we're going to start because we don't want to lose anybody. I think we do. Will the panelists come back to the stage, please? Panelists to the stage.
I'm getting retweeted. Still don't have any viewers though. Hasn't gone weird on me like done the yellow connecting thing, so I assume I have good enough signal. I don't think that Ira guy is here. I think it's the other guy who directed it. Must be that dude there, Brian whatever.
Oh, right. Well, I'm the film said the guy went to prison.
Well, that
okay, we can please take our seats so we can get this show on the road. Thank you very much. Panelists, come on up. Everybody else take a seat. I understand that there are also women cut t-shirts, so you don't have to look like a guy if you buy one. So that's a positive.
No? What do you mean by that?
Okay.
Looking like a guy is bad? I guess if you're a girl and want to look like a girl.
Right, yeah, you want feminine.
Okay, so if we are ready, just want to let you know that Cable Community Radio is co-sponsoring this documentary. If you don't know where KBOO is at 90.7 FM and online at www.kboo.fm. So check out our website, check out our wonderful programs. We do things like this at Clinton Street Theater every month. So to find out what's going on with KBOO at Clinton Street Theater, make sure you go online. Also, we have Lakia here from Basic Rights Oregon. They have a special program that they're working on. So please, when you come up, how this is going to work is we're going to ask you guys to come down this line to ask your questions. And as soon as you're done asking your question, you got to answer. Please come talk to Lakia and find out more programs that are happening in the next coming months with Basic Rights Oregon. Yeah.
Everybody, just to give you a quick synopsis of what I'm doing here, I work for Basic Rights Oregon, which is an LGBT advocacy group. We are a coalition partner of CIO, which is the Center for Intercultural Organizing, which is an amazing organization, so you should check them out if you don't know anything about them. What they're doing is actually in the legislative process right now, trying to end profiling in the state of Oregon. It actually defines what profiling is, makes it so you can actually report it, and also does statistics on it. It's not just race, they're also looking at ethnicity, color, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, age, physical and intellectual disabilities, etc. So the way in which Basic Rights Oregon is helping, if you feel so inclined, if you have personally experienced or know somebody who's experienced profiling by the police, you can come up and write me, whatever, doesn't matter what, doesn't make me dangerous. I will take your picture, and we're going to be sending these to legislatures every single day to talk about the real stories of how this actually affects all of us. So if you're interested, please come and stop by. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, that's Lakia with Basic Rights Oregon. Like I said, we'll have you guys come down here, ask your question to the panelists here up on the stage, and then when you're done, just come up here and talk with Lakia and help out. All right. So I don't know everybody on the stage right now. I know. Yeah, if you guys can do a quick intro, and then while they're doing the intro, you guys are more than welcome to come up here and get ready to ask your question.
Hello, y'all. Y'all beautiful. And I just want y'all to give yourselves a round of applause for standing here and for being here. This is important. My name is Isaiah Spriggs, and I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I've been here for about a year and a half, becoming involved where I can. And recently I've hooked up with Don't Shoot PDX, and they're doing a lot of good work. And so I'm here, I guess, on behalf of myself, and on behalf of Portland, on behalf of Detroit, on behalf of black men, you know, on behalf of somebody who cares.
Good evening, I'm Joann Hardesty, and I'm a member of the Albina Ministerial Alliance Coalition for Justice and Police Reform. I'm on the steering committee, and as you heard earlier, I am also the newly elected president of the Portland chapter of the NAACP.
My name is Marcus Cooper, and I'm just a young African-American male that lives this fight, and I'm here to state my voice. I was born in Seattle, I lived in Portland. I moved around a lot. My dad was in the Navy, so I lived on the East Coast, the South, out here, so seeing all those different experiences with a lot of my mind and being a part of this movement. I'm proud to be part of the Don't Shoot PDX movement. It's given a huge platform for people like myself and other people as well to speak out on what's happening. And I encourage everybody here, don't be afraid to continue your fight and continue your voice. It doesn't have to end right here in this movie theater. The protest is an everyday thing for us.
Hey everybody, my name is Glen Waco. I'm a local hip hop artist and Don't Shoot PDX community member. And just like everyone here, I came here to educate myself, and I want to be the change I see in the world. So protesting is more than just marching in the street. I think this is a form of protest because we can take the information we just took from this movie and apply it to our lives and affect change in the world through that action. So thank you.
with you guys, and I've been following you guys on Twitter. So like I know the stuff you guys are doing, I'm keeping up with it, and really inspired by what you guys are doing here because it's really about young people right now, and I'm listening to amplify your voices. So I'm really excited you guys are here. Just a little bit. I just want to say that one of the things that I'm really passionate about is, besides working on this film for the past years, I'm an educator. I work at a place called the Free School, which is an independent school that helps kids to kind of find themselves without needing unnecessary standardized testing and a lot of drugs and things like that. And I also run a program called Youth FX, where I help young people to learn how to use media and make films. So check out those programs if you get a chance to see what's going on, because I think one of the things that I'm really excited about is having conversations about models of things that are going on in this country, all across this country, probably here in Portland, models for things that are completely out of the system and are successful because we do not need to rely on the system to provide the needs of our community. I think we need to really work on that. But I also wanted to say a quick shout out to Ira, who's not here, but is here with us. And you guys got to know Ira. And the thing I love about Ira is he's just so real, and he just basically doesn't really, he doesn't give a fuck what people think. He just speaks his mind. But I also think it's really incredibly brave for a person to reveal and allow someone to, hear your story in that deeper way. So, I'm always respectful of the fact as a filmmaker that, I feel like I'm honored to have Ira allow me to be behind the camera while he was telling his story and following him around. And it takes a lot of guts. I've never been in front of the camera. You won't see me in front of the camera because I don't do that. And that if he was here, the big thing he talks about is self-determination. And, the favorite thing that Ira says is he was supposed to get 40 acres and a mule, and he never got it. And at this point, he's like, give me 5 acres and a goat. I'll take that. So it's all about growing his own food. He's actually living on a farm right now outside of Ithaca, New York, where he grew up, and he's learning how to farm. But yeah, I was with us tonight, even though he's not here physically, so thank you.
Okay, are y'all scared? I thought there'd be like a line of people up here ready to ask some questions. I'll start So we'll go with this woman here in a second, but I will start with the first question. And my first question is going to go to Ms. Joann Hardesty. You're from the East Coast. Is there any difference between when you grew up in that area and where it is now?
The biggest significant difference is I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. So Black people were at every level, everywhere. I didn't grow up feeling like I was a minority. And when I moved to Oregon and people talked about minorities, I kept looking behind me. Who are they talking about? What do they mean? And so I grew up in a community where I was a community chap. So the whole community was responsible for me. At the time, I didn't like it because, Miss Jones would be calling my mom to say, Joanne's up here and she's supposed to be somewhere else. But what I realized was the community had a responsibility for each child. Didn't matter who birthed you, the whole community was responsible for you. And so we don't live in that era now, where the whole community is responsible for the community's children. And I hope that we are at the beginning of recreating a community responsibility for all its children.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our first question out of the community. Do you want to say your name and your question?
My name is Helen Sherman, and I have a story. I don't have a question. I would say people are not just profiled per se as one person in the family. The whole family is profiled. You cannot raise a family and get success with people planning and plotting for your whole family. and guaranteed you better not own a home. Because they're coming to get that too. So we need to do away with forfeiture, and we need to do away with accountability on people that are not accountable. I do not understand why we are so bogged down. Because when I came here from Louisiana to Portland, Oregon, I only lived in two places. I came here to be free. And can you imagine how pissed I am? I was 27 when I came, no, 28 when I came here, and now I'm 74. Now, this has been a long fight. It's been a fight all the way. I had 3 children, and all 3 of them are profiled. I became a homeowner, a single parent homeowner. Just me. Well, you can't do that anymore. That's behind us. We need to bring that back. Any 2 people are working low income should be able to buy a house. You don't want to move your family around all the time. It's dangerous. So now back to the police. We need to do everything that's possible. We need to be looking out for each other's children. But let's not forget, the police are misusing our children too. They're making snitches out of our children, out of our daughters, our fathers. We got 3 generations of people in prison. 3. Never had a job and never had the possibility of getting a job. Thank you.
Everybody want to respond to what the ancestor said?
Thank you.
All right, so go ahead and go to the next
I was
question.
going to respond.
Yeah, please.
I was just going to say that I can relate to the profiling of entire families because I can relate that to gangs. Like a lot of families like have gang members in them, and the entire family is like branded as that. And like kids, there's a stigma placed on the kid, they expect them to become a gang member. And I think that within the Black community here, the number one issue is complacency. Like you mentioned, you own a house. We can name a couple more Black people that like own, that know the power of ownership or own a house, you know? So I think the lack of education is an issue and complacency is an issue. I think we need to really address that and combat that.
The other thing I wanted to say when Helen talked about profiling the whole family, it's more egregious than what Helen articulated. And so let me give you an example. Multnomah County Gang Assessment Report came out last year. Let me tell you what the police within Multnomah County consider a gang member. They consider a gang member 2 or more people who self-identify, right? So they say that there are 147 gangs operating in the city of Portland. Amen, whoever said that. I have said the same thing. So here's the reality. The reality is that we continue to try to get the police to articulate what a gang member looks like. And so they try hard because they used to be how you wore your hat. If your hat was cocked this way, you were this kind of gang. If your hat was cocked that way, you were another kind of gang, right? But now, because we've challenged them, because their assumption, and let's be real, their assumption is gang members are Black men between the age of 12 and 24 years old, right?
A lot of them are.
And well, I'll get to Latino in a minute because I think the Latino numbers are underreported significantly, right? Because right now, if you're African American, you're 4 times as likely to be stopped and searched by Portland police. If you're Latino, you're 1.7 times more likely to be stopped and searched. But I believe if you look deep into the white numbers, you would find a lot of Latinos within those white numbers. And so let me tell you what they find once they stop and search people. If you're Black or Latino, you're less likely to have guns, drugs, and other paraphernalia. Who has it? It's the white folks who don't get stopped, right? That's the reality of the data. And don't take my word. Go to Portland Police Bureau's website and read their stop data, and you can read it for yourself. Thank you.
So please give your name and ask your question.
My name is Andre Middleton. As I mentioned a little while ago, peace out. Amazing film. One thing I keyed on, I used to work at Portland Community Media, Portland's cable access station, and I hope that that might be one of your distribution models of letting cable access stations across the country get access to this movie after the fact, after its theatrical run. But also, in regards to the notion of rebirth and getting the community together, I think that one thing that Portland is lacking is a venue, is a opportunity, is a place where people of different voices, allies can come together and at least start having these conversations in a way that can get some momentum going. I give props to Future and Don't Shoot in looking at the root causes for a lot of these issues, root causes of poverty, education, and so on. So if I get the panel to talk about what might such a vision of place be, what might a place look like that can draw these allies and the community together in a sustainable way.
I just want to remind you guys not to forget to check out Lucia at Basic Right Oregon to find out information and take it, get your picture taken and show what you represent. So do you guys want to answer our question?
Thank you, brother. Now, from my perspective, it seems like, well, it has to almost be an individual effort in order for a collective effort to be actualized, right? So in order for something or an arena for this types of conversations of growth, it kind of has to happen everywhere, you know, and it can't, I mean, of course we have to think churches, community centers, schools, you know, these different obvious arenas, but they have to happen in the homes, they have to happen at family barbecues, you know, they have to happen at all these different situational places that we can reach people who will actually pay attention to us so that they can start to spread that same the same mindset of growth and recognizing the ignorance within ourselves so that we can grow. And I think that has to happen in the home first, and then it can happen amongst the relationships of those that the home, you know, it's a ripple effect. And I think that for starters, that's what
Kind of just piggyback off of that, I think one of the biggest things I heard too is a lot of us, we talk about this, we're all in this fight together, we're all fighting this, we're all fighting that. But then instead of us focusing on the fight, you kind of have this who's thick is bigger contest where my fight is bigger than yours, and no, and no, blah, blah, blah. And so you have groups out there like Pigs Don't Shoot or whatever group are out there, but it's funny how we have all these groups and we still haven't unified yet. The house to me, and I was raised in the church, and what I was told was the church is not the building, the church was the people. So the house that we're looking for is not a building, the house is all of us. We just all are too busy building our own houses somewhere.
He said there was no arena. I would slightly disagree with that because I've been to like a lot of different like meetings with friends and stuff like on and offline, but the biggest arena is Facebook. Like a lot of these conversations that we're having right now, what we see on TV, like I feel like I'm having the same conversation over and over with friends. It's just that everyone's at their own table. Everyone needs to come to the same table and find out a solution together because we're all saying similar to the same thing. So we just need to put our own little agendas off to the side and focus on coming together, like what Ira was talking about.
So next that has a question is Lori.
Well, I don't have a question, but I have a couple titles that I have. I'm from Portland, Oregon. I'm an ex-con, went to prison in 19
1991, I got out in 93. 2004, I won the National Award for Woman of Triumph, and that was because I overcame and I helped other women in transition. I also have a clothes closet where I give these clothes to the homeless. I work for Highland Christian Center, and so HIAC stands for Highland African American Youth Community Coalition. It's the first coalition that was put together to do prevention for our African American youth with underage drinking, because we all know it starts from drinking. A lot of this stuff, when our kids are in the street, they're getting killed, and they rolling, and police is rolling up on them. I also was racially profiled because I have a Tahoe on 22. And so we need to talk about cars too. They look at cars and they pull them over. And I ended up going to jail. And when I took them to trial, the police officer remembered my tires, he remembered my custom plates, and he remembered my car. So I'm telling you, a gang member told me, he said, your car is like your face. And police officers looking at us, he said, oh, she had a classy car. I'm like, so that's why you pulled me over? Okay, let me give you the last time. I'm gonna blow you away with this one. I am the mother of Jasmine Antoine Moore that was shot on the 11th of this month in front of our after hours that we have here. And my son is in ICU right now fighting for his life. So I want to tell you, I'm dressed like this because I'm fighting. I'm fighting for my community. I'm fighting for my child. And I'm fighting for me. And I'm ready. I'm going to ring, and they ain't going to get a piece of hell on me. I'm going to fight. And those kids out there on this alcohol, this coalition, we're going to do it. So I need you guys to come on the 26th. I got flyers. Come into the house. I've been talking about this. Nobody wants to come. It starts with prevention, you guys. We got to get it. I mean, we said that it ain't the church. This is in the church, but we meet in the fellowship hall. And it's about the community coming to the table and us looking at our community saying, what is in our community that's causing our kids to use alcohol? That's causing our kids to be racially profiled. And we're going to go out there and whatever we come up with, we're going back out there and take it back. And another thing, you parents need to go get your children. You said programs, you can throw money at me, you can do all these things, but I'm going to tell you this one thing. Until you make yourself right with your child, you go out there, you know they out there doing this. Go get them. Go get your child.
Thank you, Maureen. I was asked for everyone to hold your applause until we're done with the panelists, until everyone is done with their questions. If we could just hold the applause for just a second. Well, more than a second, because we're going to have a good conversation up in here. But if you like to hold your applause, it would be great. So please do that.
So Sequoia, can I respond?
And yes, can the panelists respond to Lauren?
So what I want to say is the sister that talked about the car you drive. So let me tell a quick story about Keith Notice. Keith Notice on May 12, 2010 was a 24-year-old African-American male driving his mother's car down by Lloydson on 6th and Halsey. The Portland Gang Enforcement Unit looked over at him and said, I quote, he looks like he might be a gang member. Why did they decide to pull him over? Because they thought the car he was driving was too nice for him to be driving as a 24-year-old African-American male. Within 1 minute of the stop, he was tased 3 times by 3 different officers simultaneously and shot 24 times. Now, the police narrative of the story is that after they pulled him over and while they were tasing him, he reached into the glove compartment, opened it up, pulled out a Crown Royal bag, opened that bag, pulled out a gun, shot Officer Burley in the leg, and then sat on that gun. And so the story we continue to hear is of this Superman type Black men, right? So when Black men are stopped by the cops, they're not stopped by tasers, they're not stopped by beanbag guns, right? So when you try to do that to a Black man because he's got superpowers, he just gets more and more angry. So then you have to shoot him 24 times. Now, as a community, no one in the community believes the police narrative of what happened to Keith Notice. And there are many community members that are still seeking justice for Keith Notice. his dad was killed by Portland police, not by a bullet, but because his dad fought for justice for his son until his heart gave out. And so I will say, as that sister said, the repercussions for families when the police shoot and kill someone is felt for generations.
You know, it's
Back into
My name is Cameron. Thank you all for being here today. And I want to thank each and every one of you. I've had a chance to see you on Facebook, read about you in the papers, hear you on the radio, and most importantly, be with you in the streets. Be present. And my question is about your story. My question is wanting to understand what drives you guys, what is sustaining you, because we know the path. The road to justice is long, it's curvy, there's potholes, but we continue to do it.